Hey beautiful, how you doing tonight? Welcome back to Lucky After Dark. Woohoo! Hey! If you're new here, please make sure you hit subscribe. And let's just get on with this video. So, a common misconception about gay men and the prison culture. This is something, okay, that has irritated me since I was in prison. The outside world and just men, especially in general, they will have you believe that gay people in prison are typically just like alienated, isolated, ostracized, kept to themselves. Maybe they raped or something like that, picked on and bullied, and or just like just attached to either just one guy or just clicked up with each other. That is what like the image that is sent out over and over and over and over again, and it's just a bunch of bullshit. To be honest with you, it's a bunch of bullshit. First of all, as I've explained in other videos, the gay community sadly is not very tight knit in prison, and it is because the amount of attention that these bitches get from guys is so fierce, honey, that they don't even want to share. They greedy, girl. They is greedy and they don't even want to share. That's what it really is. They get so just I don't want to say overwhelmed, but like they get so just like, what is the word that I'm looking for? Shit. I was on a hyped up energy too. They get so like, I don't know, just on such a high, you know what I'm saying? Like from all these guys, I know how to dial myself from 3 back to 10 real quick. But for real, because this is something that really has eaten up my skin for a very long time. Because I just felt like, what in the hell? How come none of this is ever talked about? Like, how is none of this ever talked about when it is constantly what it is? It's like some secret human trafficking society or something like that, and a woman trips over it and discovers it, and she's just like, how in the world is this never talked about? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, this is outrageous. That's how I felt. First of all, the gay community in there is not all that tight-knit because they compete with each other. They don't want to compete with each other for the attention that they're receiving from the guys. You know what I'm saying? They get so much attention and they benefit so much from the attention that they're getting from all of these men that they don't want to share. They don't want to share with nobody. So that's why there isn't really that strong of bonds in the gay community inside of prison. Okay? That's number one. And then number two is that in terms of being alienated or ostracized or anything like that, or picked on or something like that, a lot of gay people have protection, a lot of protection in prison. Like, they have guys that they don't even realize are just looking after them all the time because they're just watching them all the time. People are in there doing time. Can we use our common sense? These people ain't got nothing to do. All day, every day, one day after another, 1 week after another, 1 month after another, 1 year after another. There are people that's literally in the pod 10 years. They've been in the same pod, in the same cell, like, ain't ever moved. These people are not going anywhere. Nobody is going anywhere. Once you find where you're at, that's it. That's it. You just there. You know what I'm saying? So you have nothing to do all day. That's why a lot of people catch charges, gunning the female COs, because I'm not trying to make it sound like everybody in prison is gay. No. No. A thing that does definitely suck about it, about like being in the gay community, is it is a pocket of people. I'll admit that. It's a pocket of people that are gay. But then when you have somebody, and I hate to even say it like this, but when you have somebody like me that comes into like a compound, into a pod or something like that, it really shakes things up a bit, because some people that maybe were either in the closet, come out of the closet, some people that maybe were just curious on the inside, like they they weren't interested in some of the queens that they see, around, because like I say, a lot of the queens in there, they look just as appeasing as some of them guys. And then to top it off, and that ain't no hate to the queens, because I love the gay community, no matter who they is and what they look like, how crazy they act, because I'm not perfect either, honey, and I know that I'm not the hottest person in the world, but I just do my best with what the good Lord gave me. I just try to put my best foot forward. And even then, it's half step. It's a two-step, okay? So you ain't got to cut me to pieces. But, you have, whatever it is that you're working with. And then in addition to that, a lot of the gay people in there are very promiscuous. They just are. And it comes from being pursued all the time by everybody at any point in time, every single day. Like, whether you are wanting the attention or not, whether you are presenting yourself in that way or not, sending any signals or not, or even if you are closed off, you can be a mean, hateful bitch, like just somebody that constantly just says nasty negative things and just always has a chip on their shoulder and just a bad attitude and just hateful to everybody and negative. Like, you could be bad in bed. Like, there's queens in there that they don't douche, they just nasty as they want to be. It don't matter. You still gonna have guys try you all the time, even if rumors like that get around. It just doesn't matter, because people in there are desperate for when they have nothing better to do. Literally, you have people out here with nothing better to do, and would be, just in some mess that they shouldn't be. But then you take people who already, broke rules, which, I mean, I'm myself included, I was there. People who break rules and, buck the system, whatever, just reckless and as careless as they want to be. So you already have that type of personality. Now you add that into an environment where they're literally just sitting around doing time with nothing to do. Like, so getting back to my point, you'd have guys like coming out of the closet that will come out a gay person. And then you'll have guys that, on the inside, maybe they've just been curious. And then you have guys that actually never even gave any thought about it. But then it's like, as it's just been so long since they had any type of companionship. It doesn't even have to necessarily mean sexually. It is definitely a factor. Like the fact that they hadn't had their dick sucked in years. Oh my gosh. And how many, jerking off like times have you done it between now and the 5 years since you last seen a woman, or longer than that? One of the guys that I've been with, a couple of them actually, but one, my number was 13 if you remember. I'm on of 6. But anyway, one of the guys that I had been with that, like, I guess my treasured, trophy moment was the dude who he had not had sex for 12 years. He's been locked up for 12 years, and he hadn't had sex for 12 years. And he was a strange person, but nevertheless, that can weaken a person. Like, I mean, it's just what it is. Who doesn't want that, especially a guy? You know what I'm saying? Like, we all know how selfish guys are when it comes to sex. They just care about their own pleasure and how good they are feeling. That's why when a girl finds a guy who is as much of a giver as he is a taker in the sheets, that chick will hang on to him dearly. Okay? Like, for dear life, she would cling to that man, because it's just not very often that you come across a guy that isn't selfish. And so now he's just locked away. He can't get nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it crosses their mind. Like, dang, especially once they start talking to a gay person and they see that the person's not that bad. But I'm getting kind of off track here. The culture in prison is actually thrives a little bit on gay people sometimes, because it's gay people that are able to work the administration. It's gay people that are able to befriend a lot of the female COs. So sometimes a guy will want to talk to a gay person just to see if that gay guy can put him on with, the female CO, And it's gay people that actually can get a lot more stuff. Like, a lot of people in there, they don't even have anything. They don't have any commissary. They don't have any money. They don't have anybody sending them anything to their books. It's a very sad situation, to be honest with you. But a gay person, if I hadn't have had my mother helping me, that's actually what saved me from becoming a full-on hoe, to be honest with you. Because if my mom hadn't have been looking out for me, to be truthfully honest with you, I don't know what I would have did. I like to believe that I probably would have just found one person that does really well and can just provide for me. Like, that just kind of like what I did have. I did have like a protector guy that he did really well. He gave me anything I wanted. He kept everybody away from me. Like, but that wasn't good enough for me. I wasn't happy. And then also at the same time, I had a bit of guilt because, one, the guy was actually starting to have emotions for me, and that was not what I signed up for. Like, I thought this was a prison type of transaction. It's like, okay, you just want, you just want a good time, and I want these things. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, like, I can keep my feelings in check if you can, and he couldn't. And then that's when I started to feel like, oh, well, this isn't really a good idea then, because I don't actually want to be with you. I didn't want to be with anybody at that time. It's prison. I don't want to be with any of these people. And that's what I like to believe. I like to believe that I would have probably done something like that. But to be honest with you, now having had experienced the environment, I kind of think to myself, like, I don't know. I probably would just be trying to work the guys, probably in the way that I did, like, to see how far I can get from with somebody without having to do anything. And then for the ones that I want to do something with, it's like, whatever. And then it kind of keeps, there's like danger with that though too, because in my mind it makes me think like, okay, it keeps the guys from becoming possessive because they see that you are not allowing yourself to attach to this guy, and you're still messing around with with all these different people. We'll just pick a number, 5 different people. That's like a good average number, I would say. And actually, I might be being nice. It might be like 8 different people that some of them bitches in there are fucking around with. But we'll just say 5. 5 different people that you messing around with. All of them know about each other, except for maybe one, I guess, that probably is in the closet. You know what I'm saying? So you have 4 that know about each other, and then 1 that's like, in the closet. But still in all, that can lead to a lot of trouble because somebody usually inevitably can't keep their feelings under control, and they will start to just become violent or obsessive or aggressive or just angry, or they might start fighting with the guy. That's a popular thing that happens. They'll start fighting with the guy. But yeah, it's something I guess I do want to address since I talk about these things is, if you're a woman watching this video and you're just like scared for your life that your boyfriend or husband or something like that is in there doing the most with somebody, God forbid, like me, like, I can just see a woman on the other side of the screen just clutching her heart. Like, I can imagine my dear Justin fucking around with somebody like this. I would be clutching my heart too, honey. But trust and believe this, though, I will be honest. If you have a strong connection with somebody, trust the connection that you have with that person, especially if they're in prison. There was a lot of people that I had seen, I wouldn't even say met, that I had seen that that is how they're living. That's how they're surviving. It's the same thing as what's going on with Cam and I right now. Literally, somehow Cam, my husband, is locked up. The guy that I was with while I was in there for 1.5 years, and 1.5 years has now turned into 3 years. Hey, I can't believe I've been with somebody for 3 years. But at the same time, I couldn't see myself ever without this man. Like, I really feel like we are from, like, multiple lives. Let me just shut up. But I feel like we kind of just, like, are just, like, a synced up type of source, I guess. And every you know, in every universe, in every dimension, in every lifetime, like, we just find each other every time. I don't know. I just love him. I just feel like he's my perfect match, is all I'm trying to say. I just love Cam to pieces more than I've ever loved anybody. And it doesn't compare. It doesn't compare, because I've never taken guys seriously, ever. You know, except for my gay guys. I love gay guys, and I love girls, but, guys are a bunch of bullshit, to be honest with you. They are a bunch of bullshit. They are just good for having fun and not taking seriously. As soon as you start to take a guy seriously, that is when all the trouble comes. Don't take men seriously, honey. I'm just trying to tell you. Have your fun with guys until you find somebody that actually really is worth taking serious. Like Cam, you know, for me. You know what I mean? Like, I have fallen in love with him. But in the beginning, I was toying with him too. And he was toying with me. You know what I mean? Like, and then we, like, you know, clicked. I don't know. It's just pretty cool. But I got way off topic. Sorry. Similarly, just the same as me and Cam, you know, every day we talk on the phone. I share with him my entire life. He knows all about you guys. Y'all know about him. It's the same way on the other end. There's people that, you know, he's put on the phone different times, and they're like, oh, he's always talking about you. Everybody knows about you. Plus, people remember me from when I was there. He tells me all the time about people asking, do we still talk, and how am I doing, and all of this stuff. You know, so-and-so said hi. Like, you know, we're involved in each other's life. That you can trust that the same thing is happening for you. If you have somebody on the inside that you love and that you're just panicked over, you know, stop panicking. I've had my panics too, don't worry, I have. But at some point, when you've been talking to, there was a comment, I saw this woman, she said that she's been talking to somebody, she's been with this guy for 5 years and he has 1 year left, and she's nervous, or she's been nervous that, you know, what if he's doing this and what if he's doing that. Girl, if you're watching this video, this was a long time ago that I saw this comment on a way longer video, so I really don't know if she would ever come across my video again. But just on the chance that you are watching this video, from me to you, please stop worrying. Please. If you have been with somebody for that long, chances are you mean more to him than he might even mean to you. Which, I know that sounds a little insulting, because I now know what the sacrifice is that a person out here goes through when you care about somebody on the inside. It's very hard. It's very, very hard, you know. But for them, you are literally saving their life. Like, literally, that environment is so harsh. It's so horrible, and it's corrupted. People often, I want to say always, but people often, more than likely, come out of there worse than how they went in. And it's because they've been in a bad place. In a bad place for years. You know? Like, just full of anger. Full of abandonment. You know, isolated and alone and lonely and all of these things. And, you know, bitter and resentful, and then also just struggling, like, just, you know, gone however long without this and without that, and, you know, your breath stinks, and bad hygiene because you don't even have no soap or any deodorant or anything like that, you know. Like, it's very, and nobody cares about you. If the loved ones that you have, they haven't reached out to you and they don't care, how much do you think somebody in there, a criminal who, you know, badass Billy Joe, you know, whatever, or whomever, thug dude from, you know, the south side, like, how much do you think that they're gonna care about this person that he ain't got shit? It ain't my problem. You know what I mean? They don't care, and they don't want to hear your sob story. They don't want to hear nothing you have to say. You got anything for me? They trying to survive just like the next person. It's a awful place. It's an awful place. And you, I am like, I don't know where, I just wanted to just pour my heart out like this, but, and you that is making sure that he has money on his books, that he can eat and all of these things, you know, it really means a lot. It really means just way more than you could ever imagine. For real, you know. So, just, I would say the only way that y'all could actually, like, break up is because you don't trust him when he comes out, you know. Don't do that. Don't do that, because you're actually probably keeping yourself from having the greatest love that you could actually ever have, probably. Because that person, if you let him, I bet he would be more loyal to you than anything. Especially if he saw how much you are allowing yourself to, like, trust him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that you don't, you know, drill him or anything like that, and you know, you patient with him going through the changes of how hard it is when he first comes out. Like, it'll be like a constant reminder of how compassionate you are, you know. And it's just a wonderful thing. And this was nothing related to prison culture and gay people, but I just want to just say that because as somebody who just shares my experience as a gay man in prison, it's just what it is. That doesn't take away from, oh my gosh, I've been chatting for a minute. That doesn't take away from the connection you have with an individual, you know. Not everybody is the same, and a connection is a connection. It's special, it's unique, you know what I'm saying? But for the people that toy with the guys or whatever, or you know, y'all have your, you know, silly ways of how you just like go back and forth with each other, and you doing whatever and all of this stuff, it ain't serious, whatever, and y'all talk to each other like it ain't serious and go back and forth and all this stuff or whatever, then yeah, he probably acting the same way too. And he probably one of these idiots that I'm talking about that literally be in the chow hall or on the rec yard or on the phone kicking it with his homies in church or whatever, talking mad shit about the gay guys and the fags and the gumps and all this stuff on YouTube, talking BS. And then as soon as they see me, you know, in the pod, you know, or in horticulture class or whatever, and they got a private second, a private moment, I didn't already had somebody like that on my channel. As a matter of fact, if you follow me on Instagram, you didn't see, there's some dude that he has like a big ass channel, actually, some ugly frog looking black guy got a channel, honey, where about that, I knew that that was gonna happen, but he blows up gay people all the time. He always be wanting to say this about fag this and fag that, and you know, totally mo and homo this and all this nonsense. And then he done left all these comments, you know, talking about my eyebrows is sexy, and he done busted a nut in my last video and all of this stuff. Oh my gosh, I pray to God one day, I don't care if it's 10 years later, this channel has 1 million subscribers, I will flip back in my screenshots and be like, oh hey Hassan, you remember this shit? Now run and tell that. It's like, I'm just kidding. Oh my goodness, but I guess I'm done. I mean, really, I wanted to talk about, I'm gonna title this video something different. I'm gonna just be like, rant about just men in prison or whatever, just men in general. But I would have liked to actually did a better job, like comparing what the illusion is of how gay, like, you know, people integrate with just the prison culture, what that appears to be, you know what I'm saying, based off of how people talk and what, you know, people say and stuff like that, and what people, I guess, want to believe, versus what it actually is. That was actually what my intentions were for this video, but, child, I think maybe I'll just come back another night and record y'all. Yeah, I'm tired. Okay, but I love you guys. Sorry about the lame video. I'm sorry, I'll try to do a better job tomorrow. But I hope you guys are being safe, though. You know, it's just really crazy out here. It's crazy out here in these streets. Are you being safe, wearing your mask? Like, you know, hopefully better days are coming. Like, hopefully better days are coming with everything that's going on. I don't like anything that's going on with, like, Black Lives Matter, the immigration, just madness, the coronavirus, just none of it. Oh, we did used to have the mass shootings and all of this stuff. Like, I just don't like it. I mean, I'm glad that there is, like, noise, you know what I mean, when there's an issue with these things, because it is a problem that shouldn't be in existence. But still in all, the fact that we have to even still be dealing with all of these kinds of stuff, like, children should not have been torn away from their parents. that it just never should have happened. And then black people just shouldn't be just shot just for no reason. Like, unarmed, snuffed out. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. You know? Like, that's just crazy. Oh my gosh. And then the coronavirus it's just please be safe, you guys. Please be safe. Please, please, please. I do care about each and every one of y'all, you know, especially my homeboys, my homegirls, whatever that we be kicking in the comments. I love you guys. I really love you guys. It's so much fun. Like, this is really, honestly, like, a blast. I didn't think that I would enjoy it this much. Like, being on YouTube, meeting you guys, being able to interact with you guys, you know, like, some of y'all are so funny. The one guy, Kareem, I hope you don't mind me shouting you out, but his comment, he's like, and I couldn't do that because honey. It's like, these guys are a trip. Y'all are so funny. But I love you guys, and sorry about the lame ass video tonight, but I will get it together. Next time I will, like, be all coffeeed up, you know, caffeined up. Oh, and on point. I'm gonna know my points that I'm trying to make, and I will make a clean, organized video. YouTube professional style. But tonight was just bootleg style. I guess it was just for my subscribers, the true friends, where we actually, like, have, like, a real connection. It was just for y'all, really. But this wasn't, like, a growth video, I guess. Alright, love you guys. Bye.